Alright YouTube, so I'm back. I've gotten quite a bit of comments about saying that I need to update a video about my pickup. So I just kind of want to do that here real quick. First things first, I'm going to get straight to it. So I talked about Selastic shackles on my previous video. And honestly, these things are well worth buying. So if y'all are familiar with the stock shackles, it goes from this mounting point, kind of makes a V shape, but it's pivoted just by metal. So as you can see here, there's rubber. So as this, I'll try to, no, I need more weight, but what this does is it absorbs every little bump and shock that is created, you know, just driving in town or on the highway, whatever. But it's a huge freaking difference. I would really recommend it. Just go to SelasticShackles.com and you can either call them or place an order online. I like to call them just to make sure I get the right thing. Let's see, I put Bilstein 5100 series shocks. I had Ranchos on it before and they were completely shot. And then let's see, obviously, yeah, I've upgraded to the cat filters on the fast fuel system. So a couple months ago, my tires were wearing out unevenly. These are new tires, by the way. They're Toyo MTs, but my hubs were going out, and I had to replace them at 198,000 miles stock. They've never been off. Replaced them with, you know, just regular Napa hubs, which are $500 a piece, which blew my mind. So so I did that, and while I was at it, I bought EMF ball joints, which are serviceable without removing the actual body of the ball joint from the knuckle. So there's caps on top that give you a tool. You can unscrew the cap and put a new joint and just tighten it back up, you know, a certain amount of turns, and you have to test it, you know, with the tire raise and whatever. And it's $700, I believe, for the 4, which I think is worth it, because you can rebuild them without taking off the knuckle and all that stupid stuff. And then I think I've showed y'all, yeah, I ended up actually replacing the Heim joints and the Johnny joint on my track bar like 4 days ago. I've had them on maybe 4 years, so I think it was time to replace them. Plus I was getting a loud popping noise when I turned because my Johnny joint ball was loose. So I did that, and then I got a Synergy steering upgrade, which is super worth it. I would recommend it. Other than that, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is a little cool story. Oh yeah, so on my previous video, I had the stock trans cooler, and I upgraded to a Mishimoto trans cooler, which helped out a ton. I've also got the boots, the intercooler boots, all 4. New Ultima batteries, because my old ones are pretty weak. A hydro boost, it started leaking at the right here and on the back side, and it started slowly leaking to the cab. So I replaced that. Super easy job. So I bought this billet cover, tappet cover. It's hard to see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but I replaced it, and I put grease on the O-ring that, you know, is in the groove around the edges of the cover. Well, I think I pinched it and it cut it, so I'm still losing oil on the back side of that tappet cover, which I need to order a new O-ring, take the VP pump off all the lines and redo that and make sure it seals correctly. That's the only leak I have, other than, you know, the hydro boost, which I already fixed. And a couple months ago, I was noticing I was spewing oil out of my crankcase vent which is right above that pitman arm, which comes from the timing cover right here. I was leaking a lot of oil, so I was like, what the hell? You know, I kind of noticed it. I changed the oil and I noticed it was super high on my dipstick. So I was like, okay, that's not good. I'm either losing fuel past the O-rings or something, you know. I didn't know yet. So what I did is I removed, you know, everything, and I removed the injectors. And they were fairly new. They were remanufactured from Diesel Auto Power. They're 110 horse. So I mean, I figured they would be okay since they were always cleaned and filtered with the fast fuel. Anyways, I think the spring or a shim, something got weak, and I took it to Amarillo. I can't remember the place, but I had them pop tested and all 6 of them failed. So I was like, great, I have to buy new injectors. Either that or rebuild them. So I went ahead and got the 245 horse injectors, Bosch injectors from a mid-engine Cummins, and I put them in here. So they said they were roughly the same as the 110 horse Diesel Auto Power injectors, but they were brand new Bosches. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'd rather go with new than remanufactured. So I did that, and it fixed my oil dilution problem. So I was like, great. And luckily I caught it just in time. You know, if I would have waited months and months after, my bearings probably would have taken a crap, or something internally would have completely, you know, messed up. Other than that, other than like a couple U-joints, you know, nothing crazy aftermarket. Yeah, I think that's all I've done. But there's that little update that y'all wanted. I've put quite a, you know, I moved. I don't live in the same place. I moved 8 hours away from my hometown. But yeah, I think that's a little quick update. I need new mud flaps on this side, because 1, it rubs, and 2, it gets pretty hot. No, it's not really hot. It's like 1100 degrees on the highway, which is, it's okay. But when that mud flap just constantly rubs on it, and the heat, it slowly carves a indention or a cutout of the exhaust pipe. I do need new rear tires. You know, I think I'm gonna go with the same ones, because I've gotten about 45,000 miles out of these Desert Hawk Achilles XMT tires. Super great. And I think they would have lasted the same as the front, but you know, since the front hubs and ball joints wore out, it wore out the front tire pretty bad. I still got the Kelderman. I plan on getting rear bags, and once I do that, I'm gonna put a whole onboard system, you know, with a leveling, auto leveling lever on it and everything. But I'm not there yet. I'm gonna eventually get compounds. I've already kind of got, you know, the kit on the cart. I just want to make sure that's the setup that I want. So I've been calling a lot of different companies, and they're going, they're all talking about the same turbocharger, a 475, I believe. Other than that, you know, I think I do need it for a fact, because on a hill, kind of loaded down, I reached 1300 EGTs, which is way too much that I like. I know it's okay for a short amount of time, but it's a little too much for my comfort zone. So I'm gonna do that. That's my plan next, is to do compound turbos. And then once I get the leak, the tappet cover fixed, and the compound turbo situated, I'm gonna work on finding a nice cowl hood and repainting this one, or not this one, get the new cowl hood that I'm gonna order. And I also need a new heat mat. This hood is starting to show its age. It's starting to split, you know, you see those. They're not bad yet, but they're kind of bothering me. And that's the only thing on this truck. It does need a paint correction. There's scratches here and there, but there's no chips other than the hood. Other than that, guys, I think that's it. Oh, another thing, I've seen quite a bit of these second gens, or even first gens. Any diesel or any vehicle can have this problem. But I've noticed a lot of diff fluid has been coming out the speed sensor. So I've already replaced the speed sensor and changed the fluid, and it still leaks. So I was like, okay, well, something's not right. Maybe the hole's wrong or scuffed or something. So I ended up putting diff gear oil silicone around the O-ring, and that did help it. It stopped leaking. Every long trip I had, I mean, I had a couple drops, under the differential, which really bothered me. I hate old drips. So that did fix the issue. So if y'all do run into that problem, just put a little bit of gear oil sealant around the O-ring of the speed sensor, and that will fix it. And clean your diff vents. Blow them out both ways. Obviously not back into the diff, but do that, and I think that'll fix y'all's problem. And yeah, I think that's all I have for y'all. If I come across anything else, or if I install some new parts, I will let y'all know and keep y'all updated. See y'all later.